Billy Demong, getting ready for another Olympics. Talk about what's going through your mind in this, final week leading up to Vancouver.
It's been a really nice couple of weeks here at home, kind of doing some last preparations and relaxing also. And, I feel real fresh and ready to kind of put the icing on the cake this week here with the team and get ready to go up.
So what sort of things are you working on? What sort of things are you, tuning and tweaking in these final days?
Ultimately right now we're just doing a little bit of jumping just to kind of stay in touch, and we're testing out some of our new suits and just trying to figure out what we're going to compete in. And then also on the cross-country side, we're doing some just really short, hard interval sessions where we're kind of trying to get that physiological peak, so we can race our fastest.
New suits, really? You're going to switch something up, right here before the biggest event of the year?
Always. I mean, most people know that racers travel with a ton of skis, but in jumping, your suit is more important, how it flies. And, I only really have 1 or 2 pairs of jump skis at any given time, but I have usually 4 or 5 suits on the road with me. And right now I've got 5 or 6 I'm trying to go through to narrow down to 2 or 3 to go test in Whistler in official training. So,
well, talk a little bit about just how your season has gone, setting yourself up for the Olympics.
It's been a little bit of a weird year. I fractured my shoulder in October, and it was a couple months getting that back together. And so I started off jumping really well. It's been very consistent this year, but cross-country wise, I struggled a little bit in the beginning. And the first few races I was in a position to win, but I kept getting out sprinted, finishing in like 6th, 8th, 10th. And then the last few races we had in Europe, I was able to win one of the World Cups, finish 4th, and fight for the podium in all the last 4 races. So kind of gave me the confidence just to know that we're doing the right things. And now that I'm feeling healthy, feeling really good about going into Vancouver.
Now, this is probably the deepest U.S. team ever. You guys almost went 1, 2, 3, which would have been a historic event. Talk about how you guys push each other every day in training and then at the races.
Well, we've been more or less a residency program since the early 90s, and Todd and Johnny and I have trained together 200 days a year or more since I moved out west in 97. And we push each other really hard in training, and now we're all at a very similar level in competitions. I mean, like you said, 2 or 3 of the last few races we've been 1, 2, 3 at some stage in the race, and in almost every race this year we've all been in contention to win at some point in the game. And I think it's really kind of a special thing to have 3 guys of that caliber on the same team. It plays a little differently though. I mean, sometimes I think we kind of rely on each other for results, and like at the last race where we were 1, 2, 3, I took the lead with the last lap, just kind of sacrificing myself for those guys. And so you definitely changes the way you play the game a little bit to have that many guys in position to do well.
Now, since you've been to the Olympics before, what are your plans? I mean, do you plan to just sort of have that full Olympic experience, or are you just waiting until your event is done and then you can go celebrate?
We are on a very focused schedule. We're gonna head up next Monday, do processing, and compete on Saturday, and then we're just gonna keep our heads down and train until our last 2 competitions, and then actually I'm not even sticking around for closing ceremonies. I'm gonna head to the next World Cup in Finland. So. Yeah, I think we're focused. I think we know that this is a great shot for us to do some first ever, best ever results for the U.S. and Nordic combined in the Olympics. So that's definitely our primary focus right now.
Is it nice to have the Olympics so close? You don't have to make any major time change shifts. You pretty much know what the weather is going to be like, or at least you're familiar with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just the fact that we can, fly at 1 in the afternoon and get in at 5 o'clock at night, that's a no-brainer. It's super simple for us to travel up there. And, it definitely makes a difference too, having, the food and everything kind of be more like home. And we'll have a ton more friends and family up there as a result of being close to the U.S. So I think we're also looking forward to this and it's not our home Olympics like Salt Lake, but it's as close as we'll get again in our career. So it's good stuff. We're excited.
All right, Billy, thanks so much, and best of luck next week.
Thanks, Ori.